slow mode.
Just needs a reset.
All right, it is finally time. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Wild Dog Arcade. I am Ed.
And I'm Gary.
And yes, tonight is a special night.
Yep, we're going to go through this last year's worth of game releases and kind of talk about them a little bit, talk about our impressions of them. So there was actually quite a bit this year. All right. So now let's go to the recap. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Pinside database here and look and go from earliest release in this year till current. So we're going to go through the machines, give our opinions on it.
Because it is the end of the year.
The end of the year.
Check out what we got to play.
So even though they announced it in 2023, it didn't make it to people till spring essentially. But so Evildead by Spooky. Evildead.
Yeah.
So we did get to play that at Expo.
This year's
Expo.
Yeah.
So
you talked to Dwight casual the moment he brought up Pokemon. All he would talk about is how difficult the licensing is. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that to us in person too. So that's kind of what we concluded is
maybe they're trying,
not. We'll see.
But yeah, so Evil Dead. You know, a lot of people have seen like videos and Spooky streaming this game themselves. We did enjoy the game a little bit. There's a few things I don't like about the game. The bump sticks were kind of cool.
Those were fun.
The reload, the shotgun.
Yeah.
So
great concept for something in the machine.
Yeah.
Mode start right there. I don't recall what our challenge was. If it was hard for us to get the shots that we wanted.
What I didn't like is on the left side of the screen. It's got that drop target bank. Let's see if we can get a good picture here. So on the left side, you have that whole floating drop target bank with the hand that moves back and forth with that flipper hidden in the sling.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the stuff on the left side. I didn't think it added to gameplay much in myself.
Right.
So,
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this also a machine that had another button for that flipper, or am I thinking of a different one?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it had another button.
I think it had another button. I remember not liking that either.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going back and forth all the time on that, especially if you're talking about the P3, who also had multiple buttons on there. But you can make it work. Spooky did it with Rick and Morty successfully with another button.
There's a good picture of that under the sling flipper.
But,
yeah.
It is a little weird too where it's at, and it does make a fun challenge, of course.
And they do have a lower play field in there, so a cellar. I've not ever been too huge of a I don't hate it, but I don't really love it. These under play field mini little things.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of experienced that with the Avatar machine also.
Because they have like 3 of them in that game.
Yeah,
so,
and it's fun at first, but I think it wears off fairly quickly, and it doesn't feel as satisfying as, say, if it was an upper play field like on Foo Fighters or something like that. So
it just kind of feels a little too confined generally, and and you're like, I don't really.
It's not really immersing you into the world of Evil Dead. Is that what you're trying to say?
There's probably something to do with the cellars and stuff because it's Evil Dead, but
groovy flipper, The fact that lots of Stern leaders had an intimate knowledge of Pokemon licensing gives me confidence that if Pokemon is possible in pinball, they will make it happen. They are the ones. Yeah. Good point there, Central. All right.
So Spooky, as far as Spooky, I think they did a great job with theming on this. So
yeah, I think overall, again, attention to detail is kind of what I was pointing out earlier with Cobra Kai. This machine as well. I mean, I think that's what really bowled us over to start with when we saw it come out, this game for the first time. And it was just, wow, like, if you're familiar with the movies and you like them both, you're definitely going to want to play this game and share that experience.
Yeah, some of the criticisms is, shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name.
Campbell?
Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
There were some complaints about his voice work being a little flat, a little exciting in this game. So
okay, I haven't experienced or played it enough to really know.
It's some of the stuff I've just kind of read on the forums.
Sort of like the David Duchovny.
Oh man, that thing.
So he has a new show. I don't know if you guys know on the History Channel. He's does something with aliens or spy
tech
things or whatever.
It's a show on spy tech.
Terrible narrator.
It's like phoning it in.
Phoning that sucker in.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to pinball.
But yeah, so Evil Dead, it's a pretty good game. All right.
Yeah. All right. So checking out the next game. Is that what we're
Yep,
going to do?
going to go back and go to the next game. So shortly thereafter, we obviously got Dungeons and Dragons. So
we have it.
That was Stern's first release of 2025.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, and as you've seen us, if you watched us play, where's the
This year has flown on by.
Image archive.
Mama loves pinball. How's it going?
How are you going? How's it going?
We're doing a review of our
2025
for the pins of not just our pins, but the pins that came out this year.
Yeah, the new pins. So,
yes. But yeah, flailing dragon.
Yeah, he's moving in blurry. There's a better shot of him. So this is the I picked the premium to look at because it's got a few more things in it.
Mm-hmm.
So he moves left and right and up and down and can spit out balls and things like that. So
yeah, we don't have that one.
Yeah, basically we'll lock the balls and then he'll spit them out.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't think that the pop-up dungeon and that were worth it as far as like buying it. So that's why we got the Pro.
Yep.
So,
so far I think it was a good decision with everything.
There's a good picture of the pop-up dungeon.
Yeah,
so
pop-up dungeon looks fun.
The negative to it is it's basically the same shot that you hit in the Pro. It's a scoop shot, except it just takes the ball and then it spits it back out. It doesn't do anything like exceptional with that one.
Right. You only had an opportunity to play a few this year, but D&D is your favorite. Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool, Trooper. I mean, for me, between the two new ones that we have, I do like D&D slightly better, but it's because most likely we've had it a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, yeah.
So I have to get better at King Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're playing that tonight, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a new code on King Kong.
Yes,
so
there is.
after we're done here, we'll be jumping over playing some games.
Yes.
But yeah, you guys have seen it on, seen us playing this one, so it's good. It's definitely the rule set is deep.
Yes.
I think they've got a lot more stuff to iron out with the code. It's kind of a little chaotic right now as far as like stuff isn't consistent. It seems like every time they update a code, they break something, then they got to fix it in the next code. There's a couple of them that are broken in that.
But if you really think about the sheer depth,
yeah, he's really going deep on the rules on this game. So it's definitely very.
I admire Stern and Dwight for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, so far so good with our experiences with it, and more dungeoning and more dragoning we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to the next spin.
All right.
Best game for 2025 must be.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean HP Sauce? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. All right, so next one that came out was Portal, Multimorphic's latest P3 system game. So this one we got to play it at Expo. I kind of felt it feels the most pinball-like of all the games they've released so far because they have stuff that cantilevers out, drops down, and gives you some more interaction with it. So
that's just all right, Pat. Yeah, can't always please everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are the D&D back glasses different on different editions?
Yeah, yes. they always do it. They're always different.
Yeah.
So,
here's Portal. The thing that I like the most that really stood out to me, well, there's two things. A, the theme, because I grew up, playing this game. It was a fun game. I think it broke barriers. It did amazing stuff with the game engine that really wasn't meant for that game originally. It was meant for, Half-Life? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, the thing that really struck me was all of the stuff that's kind of further down the playfield as opposed to way up here where a lot of the P3 modules tend to be like because of the design of the module. That's kind of what you're limited to doing. But they went and actually added further things forward. So
So Firewing, this is Portal. It's a multimorphic P3 system. So this is the one with the big, giant 2/3 playfield screen.
It's based off of a first-person video game. It's kind of one of the first puzzlers for its kind in terms of its original theme, or I guess the theme it's based off of. Because normally when you think of first-person shooter, you just think it's you just going around going blah 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 and just blowing everybody up. Whereas this one is all about figuring out what if I shoot a portal here, am I going to go?
I need to go. Where do I need to go to? How do I get there?
So it's more of a maze situation than a combat situation a lot of the times. But yeah, I mean, you got some hidden features there.
Yeah, the hidden little targets, hidden things. So Yeah, again, this one felt a little more pinball-like because they're getting a little more adventurous with stuff that they put down onto the screen.
Oh, we don't know
games. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for this. Holy moly, 60 months.
Wow.
60 months.
Yeah. And of course, this is a multimorphic P3 system, so they have all of the graphics under the playfield or screen, so they can change them and it can interact with the game a lot more actively.
Yeah.
Which hence the fake-looking tiny screen in there, but that can change because everything that you're seeing on the playfield here is a computer screen.
Yeah.
So
no, it is a bizarre game, and you know, if you go further back and you kind of see what the original video game would space off of is, it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool.
They've done a really good job of the theming on this, to theme it to the world of Portal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got a chance to play it a couple of times when we were at the Chicago Pinball Expo, and we really enjoyed our experience playing it. So I highly recommend getting a chance to play it if you can.
If you can find a P3 system
that's the
on
hard part.
location. These are not really tailored for location games because they're kind of it's got a laser grid detection system that tracks the ball, so the technology is a little beyond what a lot of operators want. Plus we've also heard people put them on, took them back off because they break. They're designed definitely more for the home market because it's got that whole upper module that you can change in and out. So if you don't have a lot of room for a bunch of pinball machines, but you have that and a closet space where you can put the modules, it's great for the home environment.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. It's your favorite, Mama? Nice. Yeah, I think at this point it's our favorite too. I mean, we played all the different ones. Weird Al, even the was it the one that I always mess the name up? It's stunned by the total nuclear annihilation guy. What was the name of it? Resistance.
Final Resistance.
Yay!
Final Resistance.
I got one of the names.
He got it right. Woo!
Yeah. There's just so much to try out on this. I like unlocking new characters and being able to play as different characters. I like the dwarf. Oh, we're talking about D&D. Yeah. My son likes the rogue. My daughter likes the wizards. Definitely like the variety. Overall, D&D has got that. That's absolutely the fun thing about it and why it's so in depth.
Yeah.
But yeah. Portal,
yeah. Again, it is a P3 system, so the majority of the pinball stuff goes on in kind of the upper part of the playfield. Just by nature of having the big screen, they can't put everything on it. But they've tried to do a couple of good things with some things that come down to some ramps that deploy onto the playfield. Portal Multimorphic is the company that makes this. This is their P3 system. So it's a cabinet system with the screen, and this, what we're looking at here on the screen, can actually be changed out to a different game.
Yep.
So,
and Weird Al is one of those games.
Yeah, Weird Al, Princess Bride, there's a bunch of them.
I forgot about Princess Bride.
You can actually do on this. So it's basically, if you've invested in the P3 system, you can buy the additional modules and change them out and have games. Which apparently changes out pretty quickly, and then you change the code over to the game. So yeah. Because I think, is it Borg Dog that has one of these? I think so. Or is it Pez? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's gotten their Portal yet because they're pretty slow. They're pretty slow at shipping.
Got it.
And this one's got a little upper area with another flipper up in the upper stuff. So
a lot of features in this for sure.
So
there you go.
That was Portal.
Portal.
Yep. All right. So then Turner came out with their second game this year.
Yeah.
So Merlin's Arcade.
Oh, excuse me, Merlin's Arcade. I always want to call it Merlin's Magic. Thank you. You know again.
Yep.
Borg Dog had one. Oh, thank you, sign out. Okay, so it's Borg Dog that had the Portal.
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate it. You love Merlin's, Pat? So here's the thing. Gary and I we just didn't connect with it at all. I don't know what it is. It might be the day, it might be the actual specific machine we played, but we had a couple of things that we didn't feel good about it. One was the theme itself seems disjointed.
A little bit, yeah.
If you think of Merlin's Arcade, I'm thinking of themed like things from that 17th century.
Medieval games.
Or medieval times or whatever, right? Not like...
pool,
and hockey,
air hockey,
and stuff like this. Yeah. So that part was kind of weird. And then the gameplay itself.
And then you got a little video game cabinet in there. So kind of like, I would have liked to have seen them go all in on the medieval games thing.
That's kind of what I was kind of one
Yeah.
when I saw it, and then when you come over to it, you're kind of like, huh.
Yeah, this is definitely a very kid-friendly thing.
I have a feeling that's probably what they're shooting for, but also, you know, big adults, big kids like us.
Yeah.
A video game and a pinball. Yeah, which is kind of neat actually.
Yeah.
in a funny kind of way.
Yeah, it's got you know.
Yeah, they got the little was it foosball?
Foosball guy,
Yeah.
spinner guy.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it's kind of all over the place. That's kind of what I mean. It's just sort of a mishmash of a lot of different things, which can be fun if sort of tied in together quite seamlessly, but it's not. It's not really kind of seamless.
Otherwise, it seemed to play all right. The one we were playing was a little tired.
Yeah, that might have been all it was.
It was a little bit on the weak side from being played a lot.
So if we had a chance to play it again, we'll probably have a different opinion on it.
Well, it's down at ULIC, but we just haven't made it down there again.
Oh, really? CNK Orland's got awesome audio. Cool. I'll have to try it out on a quiet day when we get over there at some point.
Yeah.
I think once you play it again, you'll enjoy it better, the music and the call-outs. Okay, all right, fair enough. We got to give it a fair shake. You got it.
All right, and then, of course, shortly, about the same time,
Dune.
Dune
Was fun.
Dune
and
was
it's fun.
Yeah.
We got to play it 2 times. Once at ULIC.
Yep.
And it came out during its almost
debut weekend, basically.
Yeah, I guess it was debut weekend when the assets were still not cleared. And then we got to play it a second time months later over at Chicago, and the game code was way better.
Yeah, they really did.
It's breaking up. The mic is breaking up at times, it says.
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Or maybe it's when you're looking at me talking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Firewing. We'll see what I can do to fix it as we go on.
But yeah, they really, really upped the code over the last year. It turned into a pretty fantastic game. You know, we did get to play at Expo with the latest games, so you can always look there too. So you're talking more to your mic. But yeah.
It's the redesign of the pump uppers is cool. Okay, power just went out on the whole neighborhood over here. Oh, really, Top Bob? Oh boy. Oh, that's right. California's got problems at the moment.
Yeah.
I thought that was only San Francisco. I guess the whole state.
Yeah, I
apparently.
guess so.
This is Dune.
Dune by Barrels of Fun. So,
yes.
So based on the latest movies that are out. So.
Yeah, exactly, Lynn. The spice.
It's done. Theming is really good on this. They've really captured the world because they are using the lighting to treat day and night stuff differently.
As you go through different modes, that's kind of what's going on with the back screen too. That's kind of the neat thing about the Barrels of Fun machines at the moment is each one has this like
second screen.
The second screen that's in the back.
So think Circus Voltaire where they had the DMD down in the back of the playfield, but then they also have the screen up on top. So you get 2 different screens that are giving you different pieces of information. So
I grew on you, Mama. Yeah, it might have been the code thing too when it came out.
Early code was bad.
Yeah.
It was very.
They rushed it. They had to.
Because a bunch of stuff was coming out right at that time, and they got it out, and I think they rushed the production of the game out a little too soon, and had to release a very basic code.
Yeah, but
it got kind of roasted for that to begin with.
Yeah, they did, but lesson learned. Yeah, we got to play it a couple times, Firewing. We enjoy what we played so far, and I definitely can't wait to play it again, honestly. All right, on to the next pin. How many more do we got?
Quite a few, actually. We had a pretty big year worth of stuff.
Okay.
So, King Kong!
What we're going to play soon.
Yeah. So, you guys seen us playing this one a bunch.
The shots are tricky on this game because I have not played it enough. My weak point is being consistent on key shots that you have to, do. And there's a lot of, like any game, you learn it, you play it a few times, then you finally figure out your rhythm and your flow with things. And there's not as much flow to speak of in this game it's a very sciencey game for him.
It's very, there's things it wants you to do very, like, you need to do this shot, then this, and then here, and do this weird, this combo shot. So
exactly.
It is definitely, it does definitely take some practice to do this game. And the code is developing really nicely. They're doing a good job of that. Yes, we have the Pro. I'm showing you pictures of the Premium here that have, like, additional things on it.
Oh, we've also threw in some things to make it look like a Premium.
This on the Premium and LEs, this gong is a mech that actually blocks the ball and rejects it. We added a mod that gives you a swinging gong when you hit it, so gives you a little bit of that without the coating and the mech in there.
Yeah, you get that satisfaction. Yeah, and it was a nice thing to feel. But not so nice to have. Not so nice to have that that same gong. Go ahead and reject everything
right down the middle. Yeah, yeah. When we did the media day with that, and I don't know how many times the gong rejected it right down the middle on me, and I was like, I can't buy Premium because that's gonna make me want to sell the game like too quickly.
I mean, for all I know, they might have updated it, made it not as
aggressive. I think it's got a lot to do with the geometry, though. Where it's aimed, when you hit it from one of the flippers, when it rejects, it goes right towards the middle. So
making a Premium for the Pro price. It's kind of what we did. In fact, we made our spider look better. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like the blue spider was a bit like garish. Is a good way to put it, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess what
it goes with the coloring.
I was just gonna say, at least goes with the coloring on the rest of the machine. So that's probably Gary Stern, by the way. That was funny. I didn't notice that until now.
Oh, Gary Stern, he's riding down the river in an inner tube. So
oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
should have been purple.
The spider.
A purple spider.
Let's see. Yeah, purple would have.
I think that would have been better.
That would have been better.
Yeah, I agree with you. I bet you it's a little more expensive to make a purple spider than a purple people eater.
It's probably this is probably a spider mold they bought from China. So
yeah, we made it, we didn't make it from scratch. We got a different one.
We got a spider, and then I got a piece of Lexan, and basically put a cabinet latch on it, so when the ball gets under it, the magnetic force flows through the ball, pulls down the spider. So it gives a little bit of interaction with it. Yeah, again, it's not a mech like that's in the Premium. So.
Oh, Stern's on the stand up behind the drop targets as well.
Okay, I actually haven't looked behind.
I haven't looked hard enough.
At that. So Kong. It's Kong everywhere. He's everywhere.
And I do like the character design of Kong on this game. I think they did an amazing job with it. I wouldn't have been as into the machine if it wasn't for the redesign that they decided to go with. So hats off.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't base it on some of the movies because
or like the classics.
The classic movies. Yeah, it's like if it was on the old stuff, it would have not appealed to me at all.
Yeah,
because they would have had to done the art kind of more in that style.
Exactly.
So, but yeah.
All right. Balls. They're in Subways, but not in ours.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list, what is?
Well, that's a homebrew, so we would think. Okay, then we got Harry Potter. We're not huge into Harry Potter because of the creator.
J.K. Rowling, unfortunately, has doubled down as of late as well. And her review points, you can do your research. Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah, we did play it like once at Expo, but we're not spending a whole lot of time on this game just because she's such a bad person. Yeah.
Exactly. So we don't want to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly, Lynn.
Yep, exactly.
Say no more.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a good game is ruined by her.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, Mama. I agree. Predator. PinballBrothers has returned with an improved pin after 2 or 3 ones that we didn't really with, basically.
Yeah, they've come out with a much better game over Queen and ABBA. So
yes, I wanted to really like Queen because Queen's iconic.
A great band. Yeah.
ABBA, I'm not as into them as much as I used to, but again, it just wasn't that great of a
neither of them shot that well.
Yeah.
This one shoots a whole lot better.
Yes.
Yeah, it does shoot a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot more satisfying. It kind of makes me go back to what I felt like with the Alien pin that we had because you feel immersed. There's so much there. I love the digital display in the bottom that is, the
like
alien language.
The alien arm readout and stuff like that. So things. It played pretty well. The modes were a little weak at Expo, and then they've been releasing a lot more new modes and codes. I do find the one niggle I have with the art is the lower part of the playfield by the flippers. The red skulls just feel a little out of place.
Okay, so does it make you think of like Bram Stoker's Dracula with
I don't know. It's like I know they were in the movie and stuff like that. But just right in front of me, I kind of wish they'd have done something different.
Yeah, like an actual predator head, but I guess the head's back up.
Well,
there.
not necessarily a predator. Something else.
I
think I think what happened was they originally were trying to put images of like Arnold and the other members of the team there, but they couldn't get the rights to that, so they had to throw something in there quick.
They got everybody in there other than Arnold, though, which was good.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe, again, much like the Alien Pinball machine, will eventually get Arnold, like we got Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah. The theming and integration looks pretty good. It's very jungly. They've spent some time on toys and little sculpts and things like that.
Yep. The helicopter was in there too. I think the helicopter moves, right? Or am I thinking of ABBA?
You're thinking of ABBA. Okay. That one, I think, I don't know if it did that, but the little blade things.
The little blades from the Alien guy.
So, yeah, there's a good picture of the display. So, it basically gives the readout gives you like alien numbers and stuff like that. So, right there.
It was really fun. I really can't wait to play it again.
It is a fairly dark game, similar to Alien. So it's well lit in these pictures, but
just get pen steam lights and you'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Is there
anything else we got to find on this?
Just the game cabinet stuff on that. So pretty good. I'm glad they see him come back with a better game, because if this one would have been a flop,
I would have been very scared.
Very scared for that company.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll send more units over all around.
Of course, we get the Jaws. 50th will came out. So
we played Jaws many times. I'm sure you at home have as well.
Basically, they changed out some of the coloring on some of the games.
Yeah, I think that's all they did. Huh?
Pretty much gave it the red armor and some of the other minor little things. So
most important thing for Predator, they have upgraded the electronics, and the flippers do not have EOS switches.
End of stroke switches. Yeah, so they basically they're actually running that off the fast electronic system now, as opposed to their own proprietary boards and control stuff. So that's at least that fast will give them support, because fast Barrels of Fun's using fast stuff, so lots of people are using their control boards and things now. So that's a good thing, I think, for them. So
my mic died briefly.
Let me switch you out to a different mic here.
We're going to find a new mic. Thank you for tending and giving me the heads up. Ugh. I don't know how to take this stupid thing out. We got to find another way to get this thing in there, because the pins are a little temperamental. All right, are we?
Hopefully hopefully that works.
All right. Yes, it does work. I hear myself. All right, we're good. So, thank you. Huge improvement. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as far as like the electronics. But Jaws, so Jaws, we've all seen and played Jaws before, so
how's it going, Cat Makes?
Nice little update for those big Jaws fans.
Oh, that's true. We have another set of mics that do have that magnet thing. We can just use those from now on. So have to fiddle with the magnets,
those. It doesn't have a 3.5 jack. That other set. It's meant for going into it's meant for hooking to the cell phone.
Oh well.
So
that was a good thought though. Thank you, Kat.
Okay, then we did get to go to another media day. So but there's a couple of more that came out. So Star Wars Home Edition. So that they reissued the Star Wars Home Edition pinball machine. That was selling in Costco for a bit. So.
Yeah. I don't think they changed anything.
They didn't really change anything. They added Insider Connected. That was a big one.
Okay.
And I think they upsized the screen a little bit, so it's a little bigger screen on the Home Edition. So again, this is still a pretty basic pin, basic shooting and stuff like that. Hence the name Home Edition.
Yeah, I can't recall if they improved the buttons or not, because I didn't like the Jurassic Park buttons.
Yeah, I think they ended up just using more standard buttons on that. So
Thank you, Stern.
Yeah, because they used really cheap buttons on them, and it felt kind of bad.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Elemental's an add-on kit for the multimorphic. So this is a third-party designed system. So this lets the owner. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of details out there. It basically works with other modules. It's a software pack only. So it's designed to work with
so you got
Cosmic
the Princess.
Yeah, it'll work on the Princess Bride, Weird Al, and Cosmic Kart Racing as well.
Okay.
So it's just software package. So we haven't got to play any of them. Didn't even see them. So
that's fine.
Can't really give you much information on that. Medieval Madness got a Merlin's edition released this year. So
there's Merlin's Magic instead. Yep. That's where you would find Merlin's Magic is Medieval Madness.
Yes, exactly.
Not Merlin's Arcade.
It's the same remakes that they did. So
yeah.
Next up, Star Wars Fall of the Empire. This is the one we got to go again to Stern to do the media day.
Yeah.
To see this game in person and play it.
This is the game that all of the pro. Not all, but a good chunk of pro players are like, this is the baby game. And then it's like, did you play it?
Yeah.
Play it further into it. You'll get deeper into it, and there's a lot more to uncover. So
yeah, this game it's not quite. I wouldn't say it's quite a baby game. There's a lot of actually tight shots.
There are, and they even had to
do
a fix with one recently.
Yeah,
they had the ramp that goes to the Death Star that I guess it was giving too much airball rejections or something like this, and so Stern actually had sent something.
Oh, there we go. I was looking for one of these entries that had more pictures on it. So it's a fan flipper game, so it's designed more for younger audiences, I think is a good way to put it. It's got a lot of the iconic like battle scenes and stuff. They focused on the battles on this. So it's not a game that we're really interested in, but I can see the market that they want to capture for this one.
Yeah. How's it going, or Zombie Dog, rather? Now that you played it more, I'm not having much fun with it. Okay. You're terrible at this game.
Yeah.
SW and SW are both not available in Europe.
Yeah, because of the licensing.
I forgot about that. They still haven't figured that out, because they were talking about that right up all the way till the end, because I guess they were trying to get the rights everywhere, and I guess it didn't quite fall there.
Yeah. So this game, there's no complicated shots in this game because it is a fan layout shot. So, but some of the shots are a bit narrow, so you have to hit them pretty precise.
Mm-hmm. Overall, from what we played, all of the different themes and different scenes that are in, both 1, 2, and 3 are in this game. The main three that you would always want and you grew up with are featured heavily in it. So far, what we played is a lot of fun with all of those.
Of the three, my favorite art package is actually the LE edition of this game.
Doesn't that bullet's dirty?
Looks like, oh, there you go. It's
how's it going, dirty? I didn't even see you come in, dude.
Yeah. So it's based on the Battle of Hoth, which I kind of like the snowy scenes and stuff like that. So this is my favorite of the three art packages, and the back glass is kind of really cool. Gameplay is essentially identical. There's a few more bobblehead-like things on it, but as far as gameplay, there's not a whole lot that's different between the versions of this game.
Yeah, I mean, the easy thing to clown on this game is the heads. You got your Stormtrooper head and your...
They're just like stuck on there.
Disembodied member,
And I think the Millennium Falcon warp ramp, hyperspace ramp moves up and down. That's kind of about it. So there's not a lot of differences between the Pro and the Premium. I do like the LE artwork on this game better. So.
Right. Someone told me to compare this to Metallica. Nope, still don't like it. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Metallica can eat you up just like anything else, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Let's see, $2K for extra body parts and bobbleheads. Something like that.
Yeah, that game is definitely a pro buy because the Pro is my second favorite one because that's the Battle of Hoth or Endor. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like. The premium artwork was it looked just like the 2017 Star Wars with Luke and Darth Vader battling on the side. It was like, man, the premium art got shafted on this game.
Yeah, we didn't like it that much. I think a lot of people also felt that way too, so it wasn't just us.
Yeah.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen,
Winchester Mystery House.
Winchester.
So,
We hope to get it soon. We don't know when.
Yeah, Barrels of Fun surprised everybody with a very, very well-kept secret with Winchester Mystery House. It's designed by Carl D'Angelo of IE Pinball, a really well-respected and top-level player in the scene. So it actually shot very well. We were pleased with the way it shot, and it only had like 20-25% code when we got to play it. So
yeah. I mean, there's I can't say a whole lot other than the one time or two times we got to play it, because we're supposed to get one soon, and it's still kind of, oh, maybe it's coming, maybe it's not.
Maybe, yeah.
Back and forth we go.
I think a little while ago I read something where they said they had some parts delays, so either some vendor messed parts up or something, and that's kind of thrown their release schedule. Because originally this was supposed to start shipping in the end of October.
Yep.
And then all through November, it was like November, and now we're here at the end of December. They've shipped like a handful. There's like one in Wisconsin that's going to is putting one on location this weekend.
Right.
Flipping Out got theirs, and they've been streaming that. So, this game, the integration of this game and the theming is actually top notch. You might not know Winchester Mystery House if you've never heard of that. You can think of it as a haunted mansion paranormal experience here.
With multiple rooms to explore, because that's exactly what probably drew them to this theme in the first place, was the possibility and different ways that you can explore the Winchester Mystery House. Beautiful art, love the gameplay. I'm still hoping to win the raffle for owners. That one I got away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That must be the biggest disappointment. Almost nobody will be able to play it.
This game?
Maybe he's talking about Pat. Pat, I won Saturday thanks to FOTE being picked for the finals.
Oh, Follow the Empire.
Oh, really? Pat? Oh, funny.
Yep. So it's got a lot of theming that if you've ever seen either documentaries on or actually been to the Winchester Mystery House, if you're ever in San Jose, California, definitely go see this place. It's kind of cool to go see.
It really is.
It's got a lot of iconic stuff, like the stained glass window pictured here. You'll see them in the mansion. They really went into detail to try to replicate some of the bits and pieces from it.
Right.
It's got some really interesting shots. This mech is cool. This is a kind of a rotating shot changer. Basically, it changes the shots, and the sound design is very good when it does that. It makes this door creak clunk sound.
It makes you feel like claustrophobic almost, because you're like, oh my god, everything's now changing. Now I gotta try to do this.
Yep.
Let's see here. Had one of the shopping cart. Oh, really? You went to check it out and it was sold out? Holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
Very disappointing production numbers. What's crazy is I'm sure they had no idea that the demand suddenly was going to be there. The fear of missing out was strong, apparently.
Yeah, it sold out in 2 days. I mean, it was a surprise theme, and I think what it was is they weren't sure enough people would get attached to the theme.
Yeah.
But I think what made it work really well was it was Carl D'Angelo, and he's a good player. He understands shots, so everybody was like, yeah, it's okay. Now he's working with Barrels of Fun. Stern's got Elwin, they've got some different people, and they're like, I think that's why this one sold out really quick.
I get it.
I think they underappreciated how well it would sell because they were like, it's not like an A-tier theme. The Winchester Mystery House is a little bit like a theme overlay on a haunted house game, really, in the end. So you don't really have to know the Winchester to get the game. You're exploring a haunted house, and
And by all means, don't look at the Winchester Mystery House movie. It's awful. It's not based off of that. It's loosely based off of the Winchester Mystery House. Anyway.
Oh, and this one does have the second playfield screen. This time it's in the Winchester Mystery House, and there's spirits and ghosts and stuff that happen in there. So
are they really that Tim exactly sign out?
Yeah,
they really missed the mark on that one, I guess, right? But it'll be back up.
We'll back it up.
Oh, we'll back it up.
But it will back it up. Yeah.
But yeah. They will.
I think all in all, they knocked this one out of the park.
Yeah. I'm really pleased with it.
We got to play it at Expo, and we're really happy we pulled the trigger on it. We just don't know when we're gonna get ours.
Yeah.
So.
But that's all right. We got plenty of other games to play in the meantime, and I gotta get better at King Kong too.
Yeah, artwork and theming and sound design's really good on that game.
Oh yeah, that's another important thing.
Thank you, Dirty Pool.
Yes.
Yep.
I forgot. Can't forget that.
Yep.
Not supposed to forget that.
Not supposed to forget that. All right, so now we're on to
last couple.
The last few for the year. So Walking Dead Remastered. So this is Stern's late this year's announcement where they have remastered, just like they did with Metallica.
Yes. And it's a theme that we're not really into, so we're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. But it has been a game that's been out for a while. It's been beloved by many. Everyone, there's a lot of people out there that will swear by this being an awesome, fun game, and I'm sure it is. Mm-hmm. Just not really for us.
Yeah, we didn't. So, I thought the art on the original was very ugly, and I just didn't like looking at it, so I didn't really want to jump in and play it. This one looks a lot better.
They did bring out some more color in there.
They did bring some more comic booky feel to it with this.
Yeah.
So we've played the old one.
Right. We haven't played the remastered.
Yeah, the remastered. It's remastered art, some remastered rules, and obviously an LCD screen on the game. So just like they did with Metallica, they took Metallica, expanded upon the game a little bit, fixed a few of the issues, and then did animations and screens on this. So.
Yes. Dirty Pool de Nada. Sign up. One game at DPO Expo, never less than 30 minutes queue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound Wizard. I'm going to assume that the Winchester is a non-existent game.
Yep. I think, Pat, the comment about, like, you didn't think it would be a remaster, we wouldn't have expected this as a remaster, though. But they're actually looking at resale numbers and demand on the secondary market for those games. I am sure they're doing that to decide which remaster games. Like, they're not going to remaster a game that prices are in the toilet that nobody really wants to buy. Mm. Like, so if there's... This one seems to have demand in the pinball community for the originals. So, yeah.
Yeah. Still a brutal game. Right ramp feels a lot nicer, though. Well, that's good.
Well, good, yeah.
Glad hopefully they made some improvements on it then, yeah.
Yeah, well, they did that with Metallica. They made a few more things a little more robust on it. They expanded on the game. The Metallica one's nice because they added a bunch of the songs from the latest album on there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
72 Seasons or whatever it was?
That was one of them, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or from the album, that's true.
Yeah, they added some modes and stuff for that in the game, so they were able to expand on it. And then last one announced for the year, so technically this is probably not a 2025 game, technically, because it's not going to be produced till next year, but Beetlejuice from Spooky.
Oh yeah, good point.
They announced it, but they're not
making it yet.
They're not making any of them till next year.
Yeah.
So, interesting thing about this game is Bug from Spooky did a live stream where they were workshopping Final Wizard mode ideas with the audience, which I thought was kind of a cool thing to bring some of the audience participation into the game.
It's amazing because not only are you doing that, you're also spreading the word and you're getting people to notice the game more and also feel like they're a part of creating it. That's great. I love that idea. Hats off to Spooky for that one.
Yeah.
He's getting number 68, Mama. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we'll get it.
On Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Probably not. I think he used to have some Spooky games on location and they kept breaking, so I think he got rid of them all. Pat can probably answer that question more.
Sure.
So,
Pat?
But, yeah. But
I love the features on this game. Yeah. Like this obviously is a great one to have. The sandworm.
The weird colored sandworm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the adult bookstore.
The adult, adult bookstores. That's the right way to say that back there.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. Let's see, is there a good picture of that?
Oh, the quality didn't hold up on location. Okay, so Gary was right about that.
Yeah. Ours, the two that we owned, I would break all the time. So I was fixing them constantly. Oh, there we go. There's the Dante's Inferno. The spinner thing.
Get your tickets.
So the theming is very, very, very fun.
Yeah.
Just much like the movie was very fun but dark at the same time. This maybe is a little more towards the fun aspect of it.
Sure.
A little less on the dark. But, you've got to have things that reach out and grab
I think it's a good balance overall because that's how I feel about the movie. It's a good balance of dark and goofy at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they did a great job with the theming on this. So hopefully somebody will end up with one on location nearby so we can go play it because we didn't get in on this game. So
nope, we got Winchester instead.
We got Winchester. Had to pick one, and we're really, really happy with
What do you think of the topper on this game, by the way?
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest thing ever?
Yeah.
like I don't say this, I don't talk about toppers a whole lot because as you guys know, they're just like little cherries on the top. Little, you know, spend 1,000 here and make it look pretty.
Man, it's like if we had a topper, if we bought like one of the Stern toppers at like $1,500 each for every one of our games here, we'd have another game.
Yeah.
So that's what we would do with that extra money.
Exactly. But then here's this, above and beyond, created by you, by the way. No, not you, but you know, you're also named Gary.
Yeah.
Just it ties everything together like outstandingly. So can't wait to play it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You chose correct.
Yeah.
Our arcade is avoiding Stearns and getting old stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after a while, they get a bit samey because they do have a lot of similar play styles and things like that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could understand. We kind of have Stern fatigue as well. We have a lot of Stern games, and we're kind of glad we're getting the Barrels of Fun game in here. Yeah. You know, we'd love to get some more classic ones if the budget ever pops back up. But
yeah.
You know.
I mean, the game style, I think, is what really drew us more to the Stern machines when we first got the new Rush. And then as we played more and more, realized that was more of our speed, more of our style and desire. And that's what we kept getting. And so it's exciting to now, you know, give another company another shot at, you know, winning our affection for pinball, I guess.
So, of the games this year, what's your opinion? What's your favorite one? What won this year of all these new games?
Well, out of everything that we've seen so far, out of all the things that we got a chance to play and everything like that, you know, wow, that's a tough call. I want to like reach out and on a limb and just say the game that we're about to get, even though we haven't played it a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, what we did jump on it 2 different times and played it, and we did really enjoy the game. So I would agree with you. I think Winchester is the best game. Yeah. So,
just saying, not just because we bought it, but we bought it for that reason of being fun. Interestingly enough, we pulled the trigger to buy it before we played it.
But having experienced both Barrels of Fun games and seeing how they build the games and stuff like that, and then the fact that Carl D'Angelo was involved in it, like in the design of the game, I kind of respect him and his skill, and I think he understands games. Yeah. So I think that for them, that was probably a really good choice. That's what made us pull the trigger, and then when we got to play it, it reinforced our things.
Yeah, exactly. So Turner surprised me this year, Pat. They took the ball and ran it with on the second game, the big board under instead of wiring, the new design of pop bumpers and the music and callouts. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, for this year. Got it. Yeah. That's your pick. Okay. All right.
And to answer one more question before we go jump and play some King Kong, Lynn's asking late 2026 for a homebrew. We'll see. We'll see.
We're not on a time schedule.
We're not on a time frame. I want to get it right. I want to do that. The big problem is it's similar in a lot of ways to what I do every day at work. So sometimes I just don't want to do the same thing when I come home. So,
what?
Yeah.
You don't have the same dedication to pinball 24/7?
I have a bucket of mental energy that I use up most every day. That's like design and engineering wise. So sometimes when I get home, I'm like, I got to do something either physical or something else. This week I actually have 2 weeks off. I took some me time here at the end of the year. First week I'm going to spend writing book 2, writing on book 2. I started a little bit of it the other night, but I'm going to focus on that for about a week. Then I'm going to get back into the actual. I'm going to go back into design, into visual pinball, because I had made some shot adjustments, but I hadn't completed them before I export that design out to SolidWorks and start doing the CAD work again.
Got it. So, oh God, I know, right?
You mean?
Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, fuck you. Oh, bye, bye.
Pinball here, pinball everywhere.
Doesn't matter how many of you. There.
Today at the Wild Dog Arcade, we put to 3D print the spacer and if you really like this content, please use that level of multi-ball with
Oh my god! Oh my god!
that, my friends, woo! We're so naughty.
Yeah, it's buffet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go get the beamer and we're gonna go drive to hell and back.
Oh my god.
Hey!
Whoa! Hi! Ask your doctor how pinball can help you.
You're right, Pat. Ed, stop thinking it should be a redeem. Shot-wise, well, that's
Oh, you could have had that.
right down the middle, dude.
I saw it bounce off your flipper, young
No, it
man.
didn't.
My first one!
Yeah,
Yay!
yeah. Bye.
I was trying to fart. I was like...